Day 3 of World's Strongest Man, and things are getting mental out there. It's just ridiculous, some of these groups.
My refresh finger is killing me.
I've never had so much excitement watching a spreadsheet and trying to find results online as we have for this year's World's Strongest Man. Today, there's 2 events that everyone is doing. So the overhead medley, then the pickaxe hold, and then obviously number 2 and number 3 in each group will go head to head on the stone off. We're going to dive straight in and look at the overhead medley. So Auntie Liz, group 1 results, give it to us. Tell me I was right.
You were right. Everyone else was wrong. You're the best. We all suck.
To be fair, I did say you were right the other day.
Yes, and I was very right. I can't even remember what it was now. All days have blurred into one. Time is no longer a thing.
Pretty much every day, you're always right. So.
Right.
But I'm taking this one.
Yes, take this one. No, you've earned this one. So Brian Shaw winning the overhead medley. For anyone who pays attention to World's Strongest Man, Brian is always excellent on an overhead medley, isn't he? Especially with the dumbbells.
He's just very, very good at most overhead objects.
Yes.
So when you put a medley in there, he's just reliable. You know he's going to put in a good performance. And he's just flying through this group. I think all he needs now is a point.
Yeah, he needs 1 point. So he has essentially already qualified. All he has to do is stand up there, pick up, and put it down again, and he has won the group.
So Brian looks like he's taken the group win. He literally needs 1 point now to secure the win. Mm-hmm. It essentially looks like it's going to be a battle between either Schmuckstellis and Maxime Boudreau on the stones.
It looks that way. However, if you do the math, so Travis and Gav both have 8 points. If one of them was to win this and Ivers was to do poorly on the pickaxe hold, then they would be in the stone off and Ivers wouldn't. So theoretically, everyone is in contention to do the stones.
The issue is, does Brian try?
Well, Brian only needs 1 point.
But exactly, if Brian only needs 1 point, he goes there, does a few seconds hold,
and then
suddenly
puts it down.
Ivers has 2 points, regardless.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
So I think it's going to be very difficult now for any of the bottom 2 to squeeze into the stone off.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see a battle between
Ivers and Maxime.
Yeah.
Oh, you're like 2 steps ahead of me.
Chess player.
First time for everything. So Maxime Boudreau took second in this event. Another great one for him. He's
great presser.
Second place in the group right now. Gav Bilton. Yay, there he is.
Good to see Gav show him what he can do. I think I speak to I'm good friends with Gav's coach. We've been talking, and I think he's been a little bit disappointed. He has to remember he stepped up to the highest level of the sport, and he's holding his own. And, he's putting a good performance here. I keep saying it, give Gav another year or 2, he's going to be a real beast.
Yeah.
He's got to learn from this experience, go away, train even harder, look at what he's done well, look at the weaknesses. That guy is going to be a monster in a couple of years.
Not such a good event for Ivers. So he only got 2 points on this. Obviously, he would have wanted more to get him a bit closer to being in a definitely going to do the stones position.
Sure.
Because right now he could still theoretically slip out of that position. And then not a great event for Travis, who only managed one of the implements. Obviously, we haven't seen what's happened. We don't know, but we have to assume he's fine, and it just didn't go so well.
Yeah.
So group 2 has ended up being a really, really exciting group, because now looking at the overalls after the overhead medley, anyone could end up in the stone off. It's so close. It's between 10 and 15 points for 5 guys. Oh, honestly, earlier when this was happening, I was screaming. I was like, what? It's very dramatic.
It is mental though. And seriously, this group has just become crazy.
Yes.
Extremely competitive. Evan Singleton really kind of, digging deep to get back into this group.
Yes.
After day 1, he looked like he, might not have a chance. He's dug deep. He's clawed his way back into the contest. Mark Felix currently slipped down after that great first day. He's actually in last place overall. But he's still in with a chance.
Yeah, he still is. He's tied for 10 points with Johnny Hansen. So, and then just above them, Evan on 11. Evan 11.
I'll tell you what's interesting about this. Let's go through the results first from the overhead medley.
Yeah, we get carried away, don't we?
We do get carried away.
Yes. So Trey Mitchell won the event.
Big win for Trey.
Yes, and putting in an amazing time. 29 seconds, all 4 implements. Evan, right behind him, well, I say right behind, 3 seconds, 32 seconds he completed it. Tom Stoltman in 3rd place, which I think is fine for Tom. Johnny Hansen then behind him, and then Mark Felix, bless him, only managing the 1 implement.
Mark's pressing has always been his weakness, so that's no surprise there. He's got a chance still on the Pickaxe hold.
Yeah.
So essentially now, the battle for first place is between Trey and Tom Stoltman.
Yeah.
There's only 1 point between those two. But for that third spot, it's literally anyone.
Yeah.
And it's
tense.
It is
Honestly,
tense.
it's so tense. There's everything to play for. And for it to be decided on a mother flipping front hold, it's kind of icky.
It's a terrible event to have to decide a
It's
strongman competition on.
Yeah.
I mean, you think of all the cool events they've put into World's Strongest Man this year. For me, the front hold is a bit of a cop-out in terms of events. They've got the turntable in the final, which is just a cool event to see. I know there was issues with the train push-pull, but it's an awesome visual.
Yeah.
You know, some really good events. And then, let's put an extra event in, front hold.
I think my main issue with the Pickaxe is that it's very hard to fairly referee it because there's so many little tricks and stuff like pulling your butt away, leaning back slightly.
The other interesting
and bending
thing,
your arms.
say for instance, Trey wins.
Yeah.
Tom comes second. They're both on the same points. Trey will go through as winner because he wins the front hold.
Yeah, so it has more power, if you like, as an event.
Yeah.
Because if there is a tie for points, it will always go back to the front hold. And that's a horrible event for it to be your decider, isn't it? Horrible. But it is what it is.
But it's going to make for an interesting last event.
Oh, man. Oh yeah. Nearly everyone has to really try on this. I think there's one or two people, Brian's one of them, who doesn't have to try.
Literally every other group, people have got to put the effort in.
So Group 3 was also full of surprises on the overhead medley. JF Caron winning it. Now, JF isn't the biggest or best overhead guy.
He's improved his overhead loads over the years. If you watch the progression of JF, originally he wasn't so great at overhead, and then he's got better and better. Last year in the final, he was a bit disappointing on the overhead. So good to see him, come in and smash this event. Actually, to be fair as well, all four guys that competed in this group finished the overhead medley.
Yes, they did.
That's better than some other groups.
Yeah, definitely. And it's just a strong overhead group. So then Mikhail Shivlikov, great to see him pick up some decent points there, coming in second behind JF.
He's coming back into this.
Mikhail never quits. He never gives up on anything. He is a warhorse.
Ethor performing so well as well. This group's getting tight now again. Another group that for that second and third place is going to be an exciting battle.
Yes.
I think JF looks safe.
JF is safe. So JF's on 17 points, though. He's 4 points clear of anyone else.
So he can't get caught.
No. So, yeah, but because there's only 4 guys left in this group. I guess the one that's going to... Because he always divides opinion anyway. Robert Oberst, he came fourth or last on this event. And obviously, shoulder strength is one of those things that he's known for. I have it on good word that it was the dumbbell, the 100 kilo dumbbell that really slowed him down.
He's not the best dumbbell presser. No. He's very good at log.
Yeah.
And I've said this about a lot of guys. Different implements, I'm saying it again and boring the hell out of people.
Only
different implements do make a difference.
Yeah, they do. Of course they do.
And,
it's a different event, isn't it?
There's some guys that are just exceptionally good on... I mean, a good example on the log, that requires a lot of shoulder and tricep power. The dumbbell is actually a bit more leg drive and explosiveness.
It's full body movement, isn't it?
So they are different types of movements. Yeah. And I did expect Robert to do better on that event. He's made things hard for himself, but it's still possible.
So if we have a look now then at what that's done for the overall, JF on 17 points. We've got Ethor and Mikhail tied on 13 points and Robert Oberst on 11 points now. So he needs to come at least third at least second.
He needs to win, basically.
2, 3, 4. To guarantee himself into the stone off.
Yeah.
Wow. That's not the position he's going to want to be in.
No.
JF cannot lose, I believe. I'm literally guessing.
JF is secure.
Yes.
JF is on 17. The minimum he can do is 19.
Yes.
He's through. It's looking like Ethor versus Shiv, but it's still potentially possible for Robert to get into that stone off.
Sneak in there if one of those guys has a bad event, but they're not going to make it easy for him.
Oh, everyone, this is your chance now to get to the final. I mean, someone like Shivlikov was desperately disappointed last year when he didn't make the final. He's going to want to get there. Ethor proving that he's a world-class strongman now. He's going to want to show that.
Yeah.
And Robert's got to dig deep.
Yeah.
You know, he spoke a big game this year. He's had some... I've actually been quite impressed with his fitness.
Yes.
His static strength looks a little bit down because of that. And you know, it's weighing up. This is something you go to World's Strongest Man, you sort of think, do I try and focus on the fitness events? Do I try and get super strong? It's getting that combination, which is the balancing point. But everything to play for, and a front hold, like we've said, such a hard one to pick.
So group 4 is now just survival of the fittest, isn't it? Only 3 guys left in the group, so there's not an awful lot to talk about. Jerry apparently attempted, so Jerry is carrying an injury. He hasn't withdrawn. He didn't get any objects. Apparently he tried. It's just not happening. I guess it's...
He's probably trying to save himself now for the stones.
Yes, definitely, because he's definitely doing stones. Then we had Adam Bishop. He did 3 implements in 27, so he won that event. And then Constantine also did 3.
Yep.
But Constantine's in a nice, comfortable position in the group, I believe. I'm just saying these things I don't actually know. Yeah, so he's got 17 points right now. So
worst case, he's going to have 20 points.
Yeah.
21 points. No, 20 points. 5 guys in each group. So worst case, he get 3 points.
It's getting confusing with these dropouts, isn't it? I can barely cope.
Group number 5. The most mental group I have ever seen in a World's Strongest Man competition.
This has to be the best showing of a group of people I think we've ever seen at World's Strongest Man. This has been insane. And I said when I saw the names, it's the Heartbreak group. And it is, because it's so sad.
Well, I've said this in some of the other videos, but you have potentially 4 guys in this group that are all capable of finishing in the top 5. And they're all proving they are currently in great shape.
Yeah. So we have 3 of the fastest times in this one group alone.
Wow.
For this event. So Alexei Novikov. So actually, let's start backwards. Irvin Toots managed 2 implements. Kevin Ferris put in an amazing time. He went up against Bobby. It wasn't so great for Bobby. He managed it, but you know, Bobby's brilliant overhead. But again it's a very
amazing
different
log
type
presser.
of event. Yeah.
Like we said, the speed, the dumbbells, the transitions, all a little bit different.
So Kevin didn't make it easy for anyone, but then Luke and Alexei came out and they absolutely blitzed it. Alexei winning the event with 24 seconds. 4 implements in 24 seconds.
That's impressive.
That's crazy. Crazy.
I am super, super happy to see Luke smash it as well.
Yes.
Because if you go and watch some of the training videos, he was struggling a little bit on the overhead medley. As good as his pressing is, again, we talk about that. Some of the other implements aren't the best for him, but he smashed an amazing time. But Alexei proving why he's a world champion,
Yes.
and coping with the pressure. You know, everyone was talking about he was done after day 1.
Oh, I know.
The guy has fought hard, but still, it's so close in this group.
It's crazy. So now we have Alexei and Luke tied for first place on 15 points each. Then just behind them, tied on second place, is Bobby and Kevin with 13 points. So it's just everything to play for in this on the Pickaxe
They are
hard.
all just going to have to go to the well and give 110%.
It could last days. Days.
It's not going to last days, but it's going to be very, very tough. Who wants it the most? And then they've got another battle after that when it comes to the stones. But the first job is to get yourself either through the group into first place or into that stone off. And honestly, this is why we need a live stream. To watch this live would be amazing. How exciting would it be?
I mean, technically, any of those top 4, depending on where the others place behind them, technically any of them could still win the group.
Yeah,
it's still wide open. It's insane. I cannot cope. I know I keep saying it, but I genuinely can't. I'm sweating. My finger hurts.
I don't want to know why your finger hurts.
My refresh button finger. In fact, 2 fingers hurt because I'm on a Mac, so I have to press Command 5. Command 5. It's been a lot of work today.
Pickaxe results. The last event before the stone off.
I am shook to my very core. My very core.
Well, let's start with group 1.
Okay. I need...
Do you want me to take this?
Yeah, please.
So Brian Shaw, we already knew, had done enough by now.
Yeah.
He's gone out there, picked up a point, secured first place in the group. Ivers Schmackstelis has come out on top, securing that 3rd place. Maxime has done enough to make sure he's into the stone off. So we have Ivers versus Maxime in the first stone off. Brian Shaw is through to the final.
Yes. And that's kind of what we expected would happen in that group.
Very much so.
No big surprises there.
Before we get to the exciting stuff, let's go to group number 4, because group number 4 was pretty much decided.
It's not exciting.
Yeah, we'll get it out of the way. Konstantin Janasha wins the group. Great to see Konstantin back in another World's Strongest Man final. And we have Jerry Pritchett and Adam Bishop going head-to-head on the stone-off.
Yes.
Obviously, over the last few days, the group's kind of fallen apart, so we knew this was coming.
Yeah. Whoever came last was guaranteed to get in the stone-off at least.
Now, let's take a look at these other three groups, because this is mental.
Yes. It's all... honestly, the tension in my heart... I can barely cope at all at this point. I feel I've regained my ability to speak though.
All right, do you want to, we knew it was looking like Trey or Tom to take the win in the group.
Yes.
Trey Mitchell comes out with the win.
Yes.
And has won the group.
Yeah. Great for Trey, he's clearly improved a lot. He's been working really hard, so...
Oh, awesome. Trey's
an
just
amazing
getting
result
better
for Trey.
every single year.
Yeah.
But I think it is a big shock to a lot of people that Tom is in the stone-off.
Yeah, I think a stone-off for Tom isn't the end of the world, is it? I think we put people on this... Well, he came second, he'll definitely win. But it just goes to show in the groups at World's Strongest Man, absolutely everything can happen and nothing is ever
and
given.
Talking about anything happening, Tom Stoltman is going to be taking on the Miracle Man, 55-year-old Mark Felix. Mark in with another chance of making a final. Now, Tom is an incredible stone lifter, but we were up training with Hicksy and Felix, and he was throwing that 200-kilo stone over that platform with Hicksy pretty comfortably.
Felix does not tire. Is his he's
incredible.
His superpower.
Yeah, he just doesn't seem to get fatigued like normal people.
He wasn't out of breath. It's quite bizarre actually. I'm pretty sure if we sort of peeled him back, he is a robot. So Tom Stoltman came third in this event, which, I never expected this to be a great event for Tom.
Very long levers.
I was going to say very long arms. Then we had Evan in fourth, and this was really not what Evan needed at all. And he's out of contention now. He cannot do the stones. I know he's going to be devastated. His girlfriend, and it's not excuses, but his girlfriend put up a post earlier and tagged him in it about how he's been suffering with food poisoning since he's been out there, and for the first couple of days before the event started, he was completely bedridden. Yeah. So disappointing.
Horrible position to be in, going into the biggest contest in the world.
Yeah.
And then another man with extremely long arms, Johnny Hansen, coming in.
We're judging people on their arm length now.
It's a disadvantage in this event.
Of course.
It is solid performance, won the train pool, but yeah, Trey Mitchell winning the group, Tom versus Mark in the stone-off.
I think something would have to go wrong for Tom to lose that, but anything can happen at World's Strongest Man, and as devastated as I will be for Tom because he's that upcomer and a real hopeful for Britain. What a consolation prize in Mark Felix, my best friend, making it through to the final. 6 years after he last made the final in 2015.
And 50 years after his first ever appearance at World's Strongest Man. So Group 3, we saw how exciting it was going into this event.
Yes.
And you have to give credit to the big man, Robert Oberst, putting the best time of the day in, almost hitting the 50-second barrier to win the event, and he's pushed himself into the stone-off. Yeah. JF, he attempted it, but
he didn't take it that easy.
Knew he was going to through.
Yeah.
He's done enough to win the group. But it's going to be Robert Oberst against Ethel Ingolson Melstead in the stone-off. Could be an exciting one.
Could be a very exciting one. I mean, Ethel's still quite new to the scene. We don't know as much about him.
Seems to be progressing very quickly.
Yes.
But Oberst has actually done very well on the stone-off in the past. He's a good
he
stone
knocked out Luke Stoltman.
He has done before.
I can't remember which year off the top of my head, but he has knocked out Luke. So.
Yeah, so he's kind of come back really well then. Into the stone-off. Got a great chance now of making the final. Now, Lizzie, Group number 5. We've been stressing out about it for the whole contest.
And I don't feel any better for knowing the results. I feel no better. I feel awful because, there was never going to be a happy ending.
Well,
when 4 guys have performed so amazingly across the whole competition, you could put those guys, they would have won other groups.
Yeah, they would have.
Yet 2 of them aren't going through now. So, the big news, Alexei Novikov is out. The
defending champion
is out.
Placed 4th in this event, ending up 4th overall in the group. He doesn't even get into the stone.
He doesn't get to do the stones. I am devastated for him. I genuinely am. Absolutely. Like, I could cry for him. I've been staring at spreadsheets for too long today. I just feel...
It's such a difficult one because, you know, obviously massive Luke Stoltman fan.
Oh,
so
I love
pleased.
Luke. And I love Bobby.
And yes, I was going to say,
Bobby.
Absolutely love Bobby. And to see that, you know, Bobby didn't have the best start in the contest. He just got better and better.
Yeah.
Come into this, he's actually won the group.
Yeah. I just think it's undignified the way that Alexei's had to go out. I can't understand why the champion was put in such a hard group. I don't get it. If you look back on previous years, they are the number 1 seed. They do not get the toughest group, and this group has been insane.
So it's going to be exciting. Kevin versus Luke.
Should we talk about what happened with the other guys in the
do
hold? See, even you can't cope anymore.
I don't care about the front hold. I just want to see who gets into the final now.
Yes.
It's all about the stone hold. The front hold was such a stupid event to have as a strongman to decide the strongest men on the planet. Come on, guys, we can do better than a front hold. But it's done. The results are in. Do you want to go through them quickly?
No, but I will. So Bobby Thompson won the event, which led to him winning the group. If you're watching this, Bobby, huge congratulations. We love you, massive fans, really happy. First final for Bobby.
Yeah, brilliant.
At his second appearance.
Also with the log for Max in the final. Great to see Bobby in there.
Great to see one of the massive log lifters in the final. Kevin came second in this event.
Kevin is so underrated.
Kevin is so good.
He's
so good.
Seriously, the last 2 years, he's just performed and performed and performed. And the guy gets better every time we see him.
Yes, he's very impressive. And as is Luke Bloody Stoltman, who came 3rd in this event, putting himself in the stone of also.
I think other than this event, Luke has been pretty much second on every event in this
He
group.
has come second on every event apart from this.
That's
Alexei
amazing.
won 2 of the events, but obviously he had the tragic start at the, with the load-in. It feels like months ago.
It does. It's
already.
only 2 days ago, but it's crazy to think how much has gone on
how
in
much
that
has
time.
happened since then, how much I've aged since then. So Alexei came 4th in this event, and then Irvin Toots, bless him, coming in. Apparently he's got a tricep injury.
Yeah, he's got a small tear in his tricep. He picked that up on the Fingles finger.
Okay.
But he's not too bad, he said. I have actually spoken to him, and just to wish him well with his recovery.
Yeah, always hard coming in as a sub, and coming in as a sub and being put in this bloody group is just, it's impossible. It's not
where you want to go.
No.
So there you have it, guys. We know 5 athletes that are into the final. So we've got Bobby Thompson, Jerry Pritchett, Konstantin Janasha, JF Karan and Brian Shaw are all through to the final.
Yeah.
And then we've just got the stones to go to find our final 10. While you're here, guys, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my awesome strength content.